Welcome to Endless Love Stories, where fairy tales meet reality in the most unexpected ways. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because today's story has a twist that nobody sees coming. If this incredible journey moves you, please smash that like button and share it with everyone you know. My name is Emma, and I'm 23 years old. I never believed in fairy tales until I met Alexander Hayes, one of the youngest billionaires in New York City. But this isn't your typical Cinderella story. It's something far more shocking than anything you could imagine. I was working 3 jobs just to pay for my sick mother's medical bills and my younger brother's college tuition. During the day, I cleaned offices in Manhattan's financial district. Evenings, I waited tables at a small diner. Weekends, I worked at a flower shop. My life was an endless cycle of work, sleep, and worry about money. That's when I first saw Alexander. He walked into the diner at 2 a.m., looking exhausted and defeated despite his expensive suit. Most wealthy customers were rude and demanding, but Alexander was different. He ordered simple coffee and sat alone, staring out the window with the saddest eyes I'd ever seen. "Rough night?" I asked while refilling his cup. He looked up, and for a moment I forgot how to breathe. He was devastatingly handsome, but more than that, he seemed genuinely kind. "Every night feels rough lately," he replied with a tired smile. "I'm Alexander, by the way." "Emma," I said, not knowing this simple introduction would change everything. Alexander started coming to the diner every night I worked. We'd talk for hours during my breaks. He never mentioned his wealth, and I had no idea who he really was. To me, he was just Alex, a man who made me laugh and listened to my dreams of becoming a teacher someday. After 2 months of late-night conversations, Alex asked me out properly. Our first date was a walk through Central Park, followed by hot dogs from a street vendor. He seemed more relaxed and happy than I'd ever seen him in the diner. "You're different from anyone I've ever met, Emma," he said as we sat by the lake. "You see me, not what I can provide." I fell for him completely. Alex was gentle, funny, and supportive. When my mother's condition worsened and I needed emergency money for her surgery, Alex mysteriously helped me secure a loan with incredibly favorable terms. When my brother's scholarship fell through, Alex connected me with people who could help. He claimed he just had good connections. 3 months into our relationship, Alex invited me to a charity gala. "There's something I need to tell you," he said nervously. "I haven't been completely honest about my job." That night, I discovered Alex was Alexander Hayes, CEO of Hayes Industries, worth over $2 billion. The revelation should have been exciting, but instead I felt betrayed and confused. Why had he hidden this from me? "I wanted you to know the real me first," he explained as photographers flashed around us. "Every woman I've ever dated only saw dollar signs. You're the first person who loved me for who I am, not what I have." Despite my initial shock, I understood his reasoning. We continued dating, and Alex introduced me to his world of luxury and privilege. But with his wealth came his family, and that's where my real problems began. Alexander's mother, Victoria Hayes, was a cold, calculating woman who saw me as a threat to her family's reputation. His sister Caroline was equally hostile, making snide comments about my background whenever Alex wasn't around. They made it clear that a poor girl like me would never truly belong in their world. The villain in this story wasn't some rival or ex-girlfriend. It was Victoria Hayes herself. She was determined to destroy our relationship by any means necessary. She hired private investigators to dig up dirt on my family, spread rumors about me being a gold digger, and even tried to bribe me to leave Alex. But I loved Alexander too much to let his mother's cruelty drive me away. Alex stood by me through every attack, defending me against his family's prejudice. "I don't care what they think," he told me. "You're the woman I want to spend my life with." After a year together, Alex proposed to me on the same spot in Central Park where we had our first date. The ring was modest by his standards, a simple solitaire diamond, but it was perfect. I said yes through happy tears, knowing we'd face his family's wrath together. Victoria's reaction was explosive. She threatened to cut Alex off financially and remove him from the company. "You're throwing away everything our family built for some nobody," she screamed during a family dinner that ended with Alex and me walking out. "Let her try," Alex said as we drove away. "I built my own fortune. I don't need her money or her approval." We planned a small, intimate wedding despite Victoria's attempts to sabotage our venue bookings and vendor contracts. 2 weeks before our wedding, Victoria made one final, desperate move that would change everything forever. She invited me to lunch, claiming she wanted to make peace. Instead, she presented me with a folder containing documents that made my blood run cold. Inside were photos, bank records, and legal papers that revealed the shocking truth about who I really was. "Your mother isn't some poor sick woman," Victoria said with a satisfied smile. "She's Margaret Chin, my college roommate, who disappeared 24 years ago with millions of dollars she embezzled from my family's company. You're not some innocent, poor girl, Emma. You're the daughter of a thief, and you've been living off stolen money your entire life." The documents showed that my mother had been living under a false identity for decades. The medical treatments I thought were bankrupting us were actually being paid for by secret offshore accounts funded by the money she stole. My brother's education, our apartment, everything was built on lies and theft. But the biggest shock was yet to come. Victoria had done DNA testing on hair samples from my diner uniform, and the results showed something impossible. Alexander and I were second cousins. My mother and Victoria were related through marriage, making Alex and me family. "You can't marry him," Victoria said triumphantly. "Not only are you a criminal's daughter, but you're also his relative. This whole romance has been built on lies." I confronted my mother that night, and through her tears, she confessed everything. She had stolen the money to escape an abusive marriage, but she'd been too ashamed and scared to tell me the truth. She'd been living in fear for 24 years, constantly looking over her shoulder. The next morning, I went to Alex with the devastating truth. I expected him to be disgusted, angry, or heartbroken. Instead, he held me while I cried and said something that shocked me more than any revelation. "I've known for 3 months," he whispered. "My private security team discovered everything when my mother started her investigation. I know about your mother's past, our family connection, all of it. Then why didn't you tell me?" I asked, feeling betrayed all over again. "Because I wanted you to come to me with the truth yourself, and because none of it changes how I feel about you. Your mother made mistakes, but she was protecting herself and you. As for us being related, we're distant cousins at best. It's not illegal, and it doesn't make our love any less real." The real shock came when Alex revealed his master plan. He'd been secretly working with lawyers and authorities to help my mother return the stolen money and avoid prosecution. He'd negotiated a deal where she'd pay restitution and community service instead of jail time. "But there's one condition," Alex said. "We have to move away from New York and start fresh somewhere else." I'm transferring control of my company to a trust and stepping back from the family business. We can build our own life together, away from all this toxicity. We got married in a small ceremony in California, with just my mother, my brother, and a few close friends present. Alex kept his promise. He walked away from billions of dollars and his family's legacy to build a new life with me. Today, 3 years later, we live in a small town where Alex teaches business at the local college, and I finally achieved my dream of becoming an elementary school teacher. We're not billionaires anymore, but we're truly happy. We have a beautiful daughter named Grace, and we're expecting our second child. The lesson I learned from this incredible journey is that real love isn't about money, status, or perfect circumstances. It's about choosing someone every day, even when the world seems determined to tear you apart. Sometimes the greatest love stories require the biggest sacrifices, and sometimes the most shocking endings are actually the most beautiful beginnings. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and share it with someone who believes in true love. Don't forget to subscribe to Endless Love Stories for more incredible tales that prove love really can conquer all. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, the best love stories are the ones where people choose each other over everything else.